Hello and welcome to a successful victory postgame hosted by me, Shwinny Poo, and my good pal, my best friend, my only friend who is a MAGA Republican, Tyrese.
Okay, dude. Jesus Christ. You said I'll bring us in. You didn't say you'd slander the fuck out of me. God damn.
The Knicks win 124-118. And thankfully for Tyrese, we beat the Rockets. As a diehard Spurs fan, I know he appreciated that. So happy for the Knicks, happy for Tyrese, and happy for the Spurs. Tyrese, how you doing?
Unfortunately, the Spurs pretend that's the podcast. So it's good. Good night overall. A lot to talk about in this game, but ultimately a win is a win, and you'll take it however you can get it. So.
Yeah, look, this was a heroic win. It was a great win in a lot of ways, and it was also a win that I think was needlessly dramatic for reasons incumbent on players and coaches. We're going to talk about that. Before we do that, I have to tell you about our great sponsor, BetOnline. The biggest betting weekend of the year is finally here, which means more updated odds and props for Super Sunday. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. We have hundreds of prop bets, MVP odds, and exclusive in-game live betting. BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline offers you everything and more to enhance your game day experience. Visit the website today and make the game day action count a little bit more. BetOnline, the game starts here. Again, Knicks win 124-118. They put up 46 in the fourth quarter against the fourth best defensive team in basketball. And what I will say is this: I want to get your thoughts on this. First of all, this game did not need to be as dramatic as it was. I think the Knicks and Tibbs specifically self-inflicted some of this on the Knicks by his choices with the starting lineup. But what I want to throw at you, and I want to get your thoughts on this, is in some ways, does it make it more impressive that the Knicks put up 46 in the fourth quarter because the Rockets, they had to play good defensive players for them? Like, other than Jalen Green, they just had to play good defensive players. They didn't have an option. They had to play good defensive players the entire time. It kind of made it more impressive to me, like where I was like, oh, so the Knicks can do this. Like they're allowed to score points against these elite defenses that switch a lot and whatever. And I'm being a little facetious in the sense of like, obviously it wasn't perfect. Obviously it was great. And obviously big tip of the cap has to go to Jalen Brunson putting on an MVP caliber performance. But like, I mean, do you get what I'm getting at here? Like, I think it was like, I thought it was really impressive because whatever the Rockets were lacking tonight offensively, and to their credit and the Knicks' discredit, I guess, they were able to put up 118. But in that fourth quarter, when it came down to it, when the Knicks were able to slow the fucking game down, and I don't know if you watched the game they played against the Grizzlies the other night, where it was kind of like it was a very, very similar game where like they were up, and then it gets into crunch time and they can't fucking score the ball. Well, the Knicks made them not score the ball, and then the Knicks scored the fucking ball at a high clip in that fourth quarter. I don't know. What were your thoughts about it?
I mean, I thought the offense was impressive. Like you said, they basically had to play like nothing but wings and Steven Adams. They started Jay Sean Tate this game. And they basically had like Amin Thompson on Cat. They were switching everything. They were getting after it defensively. Granted, they were missing like Fred VanVleet and Sengun. But I don't think those guys are like defensively cornerstones for them. I would say like they definitely get their defense from guys like Tyree Eason and
yeah, like FVV's actually a good defender, but he's not a cornerstone. And then Sengun is like, I know he like rates out well defensively, but I don't think anybody this is kind of like, the world where we're like, oh well, Jokic ranks 93rd in the league in defensive UPM, and it's like, yeah, but he's not good at defense. So
yeah, like they basically they had all their good defenders on the team. To his credit, someone like Steven. And they basically played a 22-23 Knicks kind of game where it's like we just beat the shit out of teams and we try to get offensive rebounds to juice the offense. And to their credit, it worked for 3 quarters. Ben Thompson had a fucking game.
He's a baller, man. He's a stud. He's a stud.
Jesus Christ, man. Like, I know Sengun made the All-Star team, but like, their best players are Ben Thompson. Like, I don't think anybody would really refute that. They had a bad ball game from Aaron Holiday for whatever fucking reason.
Dude, what? Can I just say, like, I know that, like, there's this whole thing of, like, well, the Knicks are, like, letting these guys get into a rhythm, but I thought, like, the Knicks actually defended him, like, as well. Like, he's the guy you have to leave open, right, to a certain extent. And he just fucking made like 2 floaters that I'm just like, okay, all right, man. Like, you're Steph Curry now? like that's what's going on here. I thought they got a shit luck game in that sense, right? Like you said, like magnet ball game from him. I thought I know people will look at, like, I'm sure anybody that did not watch the game that isn't a Knicks fan will look at the box score and be like, how can you bitch about the officiating? I mean, I thought the officiating was horrendous tonight. And I understand it, and I understand why the Knicks were bitching about it. But at some point, you also got to get the fuck over it. And I actually thought the way that Brunson approached in the second half, where he was talking to the officials after the play, right, like in stoppages, but during the plays, he wasn't doing, like, the demonstrative, like, how could you not call that shit, and then letting them get in transition, which was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, 100% the cat. But that was a huge problem with why they got behind in the first half, I thought, where it was just like this constant barrage of, like, look, man, you can sit here and bitch about the calls, or you can get the fuck back on defense, get a stop, and then bitch about the call. Like, they've got to get out of this habit, because a team, they should not have been in a dogfight tonight. They really shouldn't have. They really should not have been in a dogfight tonight. And some of that, again, 100% is on some of that. Sorry, not 100%, but a lot of that is on Tibbs, and we will talk about that. But a lot of that, I think, is also, I mean, I don't know if you agree. I'm curious to see if you agree. I thought a lot of that was just about how they approached that first half, where it felt like it took them a quarter and a half to just be like, okay, well, I guess this is the way the game is going to be played, so let's just fucking play the game now.
Yeah. It just took a minute for them to kind of, like, wake up. And I think out of halftime, the energy was a lot better. It went up a couple points in the quarter before they, like, collapsed in the rest of the third. But yeah, the first half was just like, you saw Josh Hart, like, yelling at the ball, nearly getting a delay of game. You saw Carlton Towns do the foul, and the team just
how.
Look, I love Cat. He's been fantastic this season. The fucking whining is so jarring and grating. It's like, dude,
it's been really bad. It's been really bad lately. Like, really bad.
I understand his frustration, because, like, he has arguably the worst whistle of, like, any star big man in the fucking league. Like, when you look at guys like Jokic and fucking Embiid, and, like, Karl Towns getting mugged, like, it's a worse whistle than Julius Randle, by far. But, like, at some point, like, you got to check Paul, dude. Like, you have to be able to, like, get back, and you can't just, like, spend your time complaining, because he's not getting the calls. It also doesn't help that, like, he can't shoot, so he's just, like, living in the fucking post, and he's not even doing that effectively either. He's just been in a rough spell since he came back from the thumb injury, and it's obviously, you respect the fact that he's got to get out, but it's also, like, it kind of sucks, but, dude, like, you have to play the game. Even though he's, like, legitimately justified to feel the way that he feels.
Yeah, I mean, I thought like, there's a difference to me between you're getting shitty calls, and I do think he's getting. I do think he is getting shitty calls, but, like, if you're getting shitty calls, you can't combat that by deciding, well, like, I have to drive. Like, he was driving, I thought, in the first half to, like, make the point that he should be getting calls versus, like, he was not making smart decisions. Maybe I'm not phrasing this right. Maybe I'm not putting it, or I'm not being clear about what I'm saying, but, like, I just thought that he was playing to draw a whistle versus playing to make shots. Like there were shots, or there were drives he had, there were attempts he had in the first half where I'm like, you're trying to draw a whistle here. You're not actually trying to make the basket, right? Like you're not trying to get a bucket. You're not trying to make the smart decision. You're not trying to draw to kick out. Like you're just driving. You're just taking a shot. You're just posting up here, whatever it might be, to get a call. And I think I think Brunson had a little bit of that going in the first half. And I think Josh Hart had a little bit going in the first half too. Before, at some point in the second quarter, I thought Brunson and Hart were like, all right, fuck it. Like, it's what it is. We'll deal with this how we deal with it, but like, let's try to fucking win the game here. And I gotta say, man, we haven't even talked about him yet, but like, I thought Brunson today, that fourth quarter for him, that's an MVP caliber performance. That is why you make the moves you have made to build around this guy. That was a special performance for him. That guy took Amen Thompson one-on-one. He took Tari Eason one-on-one. He took everybody one-on-one. He took Dylan Brooks. He took everybody. One-on-one. Anybody that threw at him. And he fucking cooked them. He was special. He was special in that fourth quarter. And what stands out to me in that fourth quarter from the previous game, the last time he played Houston, which was very early in the season, but like he was decisive. There was no like, oh, I get a step, I'm gonna pull back, keep my dribble, try to hezzy. Like this was all very, very decisive stuff. I mean, that layup he hit on Amen Thompson in the fourth was fucking wild. Like that's not an easy layup at all. Amen is right there. Obviously, he's got every type of size advantage on Brunson, except where it counts between the legs. I thought it was, I don't know what else to say. Like, I thought it was a special performance from Brunson today because they needed every single one of those buckets. They needed every single one of those points, and he got them in high leverage situations. He got them in situations, what is it, 116, 110, right? You're down 6. He gets a bucket. Like, he made play after play after play, and it wasn't just the scoring. He was diming guys up. He played, I thought his second half in general, but especially the fourth quarter, I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, like I think that's the Brunson that a lot of people have like been waiting for. And last year, which is like he kind of had to do that every game because his second option was Dante DiVincenzo. And this season, you kind of see him be more prudent. You see him be more of a playmaker. You see him do more things. Like let the game come to him more than like 30 shots. Like this guy led the league in fucking shots per 100 possessions last season. And now this season, he's just kind of taking it a little bit easier. He's been trying to like let the game come to him more. But tonight, they kind of needed him to put the cape on, and he put the fucking cape on, the boots to match. He had fucking crypto with him, and he was Superman. On the bar, by the way, on the fucking bar. Everything that you needed from Brunson, he was able to do it. As a passer, as a scorer, as a decision maker. He even gave him a couple offensive fouls with charges. Like the kind of effort that he was able to give that team, and he did it. He also like didn't start the fourth. Like this, normally you'd be like, okay, he like did it the entire 12. Like he sat in the fourth for a stretch as well. So like that was basically a 9-minute span of Jalen Brunson just taking over the game. Which kind of shows you again how special a player he is. Why the Knicks have decided to kind of invest the franchise into this guy, and why he realistically is the heartbeat of his team, regardless of the pieces around him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought again he was really, really special tonight. Let me tell you what wasn't special tonight. Tom Thibodeau's lineup decision making was a fucking joke. I have no idea what's going on. Thank God that in the fourth quarter, I'll tell you what, in the fourth quarter, when I saw, I forgot who was coming. I think it was Bridges. Might have been Cat. I remember who it was. Somebody's coming back in, and I was like, oh God, this is going to be for Deuce. He's going to leave Precious in, and we're going to have to play. We're going to have to win via murder ball. But he didn't. He left Deuce in. That was the right decision, even though Tyrese hates Deuce with all his heart. That was the right decision. That was the right decision. It was the right decision. But I thought his decision to start Precious, while I understand it from like a very basic level of like, this is a physical team we're playing. They're going to crash the glass. Like, I don't want to have them own the glass against us. To me, that is reactionary decision-making versus proactive decision-making of like, you know what? They're probably going to own the glass against us no matter what fucking lineup we play. How do we capitalize? How do we press our advantages? And Deuce should have started. Deuce was apparently going to start. I don't know what the hell happened. And then last minute, Precious starts instead of Deuce. I don't know if that's some like epic Tom Thibodeau owning the libs troll session.
That was a Green Goblin mask of size and defense talking to fucking
I don't know why that changed between 7:00 and 7:20 or whatever the fuck it was, but it did change. And it was the wrong decision. It was the wrong decision. And because it was the wrong decision, you ended up having to do weirdo shit and playing weirdo fucking lineups that never had a fucking chance. That never had a chance. Like that lineup at the end of the third quarter, that thing needs to go into the fucking incinerator, and we should never see it again. We should never see it again because the only fucking chance of success of that lineup and the lineup was this. It was Brunson, it was Josh Hart, it was Deuce, and it was Ariel Huckporty and Precious. So you played two guys who are total non-shooters. You played one guy who is like shooting well this year on extremely low volume in Josh Hart. And then you play two guys who can shoot, one guy who can't create off the bounce and Deuce. And that lineup, this is after the Knicks, they battled back, right? They battled back from 9 down, 11 down at the start of the third quarter. Took the lead. I think Houston calls a timeout, and then he puts in this fucking godforsaken abomination of a lineup that came out of fucking Rosemary's baby's fucking vagina. And he fucking put this thing out there. And I'm like, I'm watching it, and people are like, oh, like, look, this is why, like, I told you, like, the Knicks can't create against switching defenses. And I'm like, is that why they can't create? Is that why they can't create?
Jesus Christ. Do not create against that fucking switching defense.
Yeah, maybe they can't create against the switching defense if you play three fucking guys who cannot shoot, and the other guy who can shoot can't fucking create.
And is a coward.
Why. Yeah, maybe that's why. Not a coward. Stop.
Yes, he's a coward. He's a fucking coward.
You're a coward.
His name is Miles.
Your mom is Miles.
That's that kind of hurt. Come on, man. Black History Month too. But yeah, like that
was an abomination. That was a terrible lineup. And you know what? Like what drives me nuts is like to do that to your fucking guys after they like look, whatever you want to say about his lineups and how guys approach the game, whatever, they had battled back to take the fucking lead at that point, to put them in the situation where you're like, okay, thanks for getting the lead, guys. Here's your reward.
Survive.
Like, yeah, here's your reward. We're about to play 1975 ball here. Like, it was an abomination. It was crazy. So the Knicks go down, what were they down 11 or was it 10 or whatever the fuck it was? All right, but they 100% go down 12 at some point early in the fourth quarter. But then he comes to his senses. Also, you got to. I will give him credit for this. He actually did let Brunson get a rest at the start of the fourth quarter. You got to give him credit for that, because I thought 100% this is going to be like a second half. No Brunson. Oh, you want a rest? Yeah, your rest is the timeouts, pal. That's your rest.
Get free throws and you can rest at the line.
Yeah, but no. He did get Brunson a rest, and I think you know what? He got rewarded for it. He got rewarded for it because Brunson was actually fresh at the end of that game. He was really, really into it. I thought, and I think Brunson might have been into it anyway. He definitely wanted this game. You could see it. Like Dylan Brooks, he brings the motherfucker out of people, and he definitely brought the motherfucker out of Brunson today. I will say that.
Yeah, the lineup made no sense to me. I am baffled by people who think Precious to start. I am baffled by people who actively
and we like Precious. We like Precious. We're not.
Exactly. Like Precious has been good this season. He is god awful defensively. God awful defensively. I think Precious has made real strides this season. I think he has been maximized as much as he can be maximized, given the fact
Can I ask you a question? Don't you think, though, he's way worse defensively at the 4 than he is the 5? Because I think at the 5, he understands very basically like what his decisions need to be. At the 4, he's like, wait, I'm supposed to help here? I'm supposed to.
He's a 5.
Yeah.
I understand why he's playing the 4, because ultimately speaking, like, you kind of need to soak minutes with him, and the fact that he can play the 4 next to Cat is really good. But he's a 5. He is quite clearly a 5. And there are people who suggest that Precious Achiuwa has made real strides as a spacer, and somehow, some way, he can play with a center.
How many threes has he taken this year? Like fucking.
He's taken 15. I would say. I want to say he's taken 15, and he's made 6 of them.
It doesn't matter how many you make. You can make 15 and 15. You're not a spacer, bro.
Like he is not a spacer. He's not a spacer. He's not a shooter. He's taken 18. He's made 7 of them. He's not a spacer. He's not a shooter. He's not good offensively. That man is hustle guy, defense guy, rebound guy, stocks guy, whenever he feels like being a stocks guy. And that's his job. And that's his role. And he plays it well for 20 minutes a game. But as a starter, it doesn't fly. It didn't fly last year. It's not going to fly this year.
And the thing is, like, Cat is obviously a superior offensive player to Hartenstein, but like Hartenstein is a superior defensive player to Cat. So you're actually getting like kind of the word, like you're getting the same result with different like inputs. Like you're just getting like, oh yeah, it's the same shitty output, but the reason it sucks is because now our defense is actually terrible and our offense is still mid.
Yeah, like
last year was like, oh, our defense these two is fine, but our offense is horrific.
Like there's a reason why when Mitch comes back, Precious will not see the court if he's still on the team. That I fully acknowledge that's a possibility.
Let me tell you a horror story of where Precious does see the court, even though Mitch comes back. I'll tell you about that horror story.
He's gonna play Precious and Mitch together, and people are gonna be like, "Well, Precious can shoot a quarter 3. You can play this together." And
this is a man that subjected us truly to a month of expecting Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, pick a wing, and Jericho Sims and fucking Hartenstein to be a functional lineup. All right, that was a real thing that happened. So
good times.
All right, let's get to some comments here. Let's get to the first one. Thank you to Adabambo Adejobi, the greatest name of all time. Thank you for the super chat, pal. Cat, waste so much time fighting for position. JB MVP, love to keep Mitch, but need Shem at replacement. Shoot more threes, please. Strickland, best around. Let's fucking go Knicks. Agreed on all of that. Look, the Mitch thing is hard because I just don't know what trade value has. And we can sit here and say he should return this thing, he should return that thing. And Tyrese can sit on our Discord and send,
Austin Reeves, baby.
Yeah, he can send us fucking AI images of Austin Reeves in a Knicks jersey and photos.
I don't even have any AI images. They don't use them.
But like you're not getting Austin Reeves for Mitch. You're just not going to do it. Correct. And look, I'll get that. That's its own thing. We don't need to spend time on that in a post game. But like, in terms of I thought Cat was his fourth quarter. He was great in the fourth quarter. He got his head out of his ass, and he played real fucking basketball again. So thank you to him for that. The first 3 quarters from Cat tonight, and honestly, I think starting with that, I did not think he played well against the Grizzlies, even though we smoked them. He was horrible against the Lakers. And I thought he was bad against the Kings, even though we smoked them. Like, to me, right now, he's in this weird place of like, one, he is letting his struggles from the perimeter affect his decision-making and shot decisions offensively. He is allowing what he perceives to be a bad whistle, and it is a bad whistle. I agree with him on that. he's allowing that to affect his decision making. But his defensive choices and effort are just terrible. They're bad. Like, look, the Knicks win the game. We're all happy. What was the possession? We take a lead, right? 113, 112, whatever the fuck it was. They run like a double screener roll. Cat just like stands there. He doesn't drop at all. And Amen Thompson just gets a free runway for a dunk. Like 114, 130. And you're like, and Clyde did his like, oh, Swiss cheese defense now from both teams. And I was like, look, I think Brunson made a tough shot. I think Cat played some pretty fucking horrific defense. They got an easy dunk. Like he's got to be better than that. I'm sorry, he's got to be better than what he gave tonight defensively. And I thought in the fourth quarter he was better, but even then in that fourth quarter, you saw examples of him with bullshit defense. And I thought his sixth foul was I thought that was really soft, man. Like I thought that was a really, really soft foul call. But like even in that, yeah, like you're back at some point when you're backpedaling, you just gotta be like, I'm here. Just plant your ground and you go up and that's it. But if you keep backpedaling and then they jump into you, you're never gonna get that call. They're always gonna get the call, especially for a guy like him who has a bad defensive rep. You're never gonna get that call. It's always gonna go against you. He's got to step it up. This is his first, to me, and I don't know if you agree. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. I think this is his first like prolonged, truly bad stretch of basketball since he's joined the Knicks.
Yeah, like this is probably the worst. I want to say like 5-game stretch, really since the homestand started. I want to say he's played like really poor basketball, and he's been getting flustered defensively. He gives effort, which is great. Like I enjoy the fact he gives effort. It's just not, and it's limited by the fact that he can't backpedal, which really sucks when we play drop.
And like he got big ass clown feet, bro.
Yeah, like Tim is just trying. Like he's trying to bring Cat to the level. It's not working. He's tried like playing Cat on a deeper drop. It's not working. The best way to make him work is to switch everything realistically, but like he doesn't trust Cat and Brunson on the court to switch, especially now that OG's hurt. Like
I think he trusts Cat less than he trusts Brunson to switch.
Yes, absolutely. Which is like insane because I would trust Cat on this. Like Cat on the switch is like the best part of Cat. So defensively, at least.
I think it's a foul. It's probably a foul thing. That would be my guess.
Like I do think that like he is trying to be judicious with his fouls, and it's like, well, I don't really have a center. My center options are Precious who's starting, which means that it fucks up my center rotation, and Ariel Huck-40, who had 4 fouls in 8 minutes. That was a classic Mitch display. So it's hard for him to like kind of lock in defensively when you have to like be managing his fouls, and they're trying their best, but it's just really difficult to pull off. I want to say, God damn, man.
It was frustrating. Some stats from tonight. The Knicks were 6 of 26 from 3. Not great. Not great from a volume perspective. Not great from an efficiency perspective. What do you make of that? Because I've had a lot of people constantly tell me, and I don't want to phrase this like I think they're bullshitting, because I think there is something to it, that switching defenses restrict our volume from 3. Obviously, I think that's true. Do you feel like that is about personnel? Do you think that is something to do with the Knicks' mode of operation offensively, like what they're trying to do? What are your thoughts?
I think they just have this mismatch fetish where like the Rockets played small. They played their 6'4" center, and the Knicks just decided we're going to seal and mismatch, and we're gonna try to look to get stuff in the paint. And it's like, you guys already don't have like a quick trigger 3-point person. It's like for all of Dante's warts.
No, that was his big. I mean, that's
like,
that's what made him so valuable.
He could take a 3 from anywhere, in any angle, any position,
airspace.
Yeah, like the Knicks just don't get up threes because there's nobody on the roster who's like, except for Campaign. Campaign is a different kind of.
Well, he gets his volume up on like
shots.
taking threes that we're like, no, okay, fine.
Yeah, and it's like their 3-point shooters are Brunson. He's their best 3-point shooter, but he doesn't take volume. Cat isn't taking volume, especially with the dumb. McHale never takes volume.
And Brunson has to create some like the amount of threes created for Brunson are just limited because they don't have anybody else that can really collapse the paint.
Yeah. And like they don't have anybody who can collapse the paint, and he has to do so much. Like, and that's not even talking about the fact that like his pull-up three has just basically disappeared, even though it's still elite. But I think he's also like, I have to get this paint touch. I have to be able to like generate these shots, and he's not taking them. Plus, like Cat can create, but he can't create the way that someone like Julius can. That's probably like the big thing you're missing in terms of like creating.
So you heard it here first, guys.
All right.
Tyrese wants us to trade Cat for Julius.
I never said that, but anyway, my point is like they miss like somebody who
yeah, 100%.
Get threes at body. Are you having a stroke party?
Me?
Yeah,
no, it's the TV. It's the flashing. It's a commercial, you know. It's in between. I'm watching the great Jazz versus Pacers game here. All right,
that's
well, the Jazz are up 7, so let's go Jazz. This is from Ace Bouchard. I'm thrilled Jalen had a bounce back game. That is the expectation. This team is built around his brilliance, and we need to see this type of play we need from him. I agree. This team ultimately is built on his brilliance, and especially down OG Anunoby, you need him to play like a superstar. He didn't play like a superstar against the Lakers, and the Knicks lost. And like, yeah, I know that game was a lot more about defensive stuff, right? That they were struggling with, but like, you're allowed to win games where you suck on defense. Like, you're allowed to. Your offensive guys need to step up. He didn't step up. I think there were reasons for that in terms of how the Lakers were covering him, but he didn't step up, and Cat didn't step up. And to their credit, Brunson, great fourth quarter and second half, and Cat, great fourth quarter. That's the difference in some of these games. It's like, look, man, you get paid superstar salary. You need to deliver superstar performances in moments and stretches and games that we need you to do it. That's what makes you a superstar. And tonight, these guys, you know, maybe not for the full game, maybe not for all of it, definitely not in Cat's instance, but when you needed him to deliver you points, buckets, he gave it to you. He did. You got to give him that credit. And you got to give Brunson. I mean, Brunson in that second half, that was, you know, as Clyde would say, a maestro, a virtuoso performance. That was fantastic from Jalen Brunson. What did you say?
Great Clyde impression.
Thank you.
Sounds like
me and Clyde are basically the same person. So
yep, old.
Got him.
Can't make those jokes anymore.
Trying to get to more comments here. John Leary, Knicks got outscored 20-4 with Hurt, Precious, Hukporty together.
And he read it twice. He saw it in the first half and went, yeah. Again. He just got the lead.
And he's like, no, we just got to do it. We gotta execute better. That's it. Like, I don't know if I can execute better, man.
Start. Recover.
Yeah. I don't think it's execution. No, that was, but to like not make a joke. I mean, it is like, it's funny now because we won the fucking game, but those are the fucking things. And I understand this for like, obviously there are fans that view every fucking game as like an indictment or a fucking like testimony against the Knicks championship credentials. And some of that isn't just about the personnel, right? Some of that's about the coaching. And look, I wouldn't have thought the Knicks can't win a championship if they lost a game because of that decision. But those are definitely decisions that you wonder about because you're like, I mean, we saw this last year. We're like, we already know Precious next to a center does not work. It doesn't work, especially if Josh Hart is on the floor with that center. And especially that center can't shoot fucking threes. Like we saw that last year. We already have plenty of evidence of that last year. So for him to go back to it is super frustrating. And it is definitely a decision to me. You know, it's not one where I'm like, well, we can never do it with we can never win a championship with Tibbs. But it's definitely one that you kind of register, bookmark, and keep in the back of your head of like, you know, let's see what happens in the playoffs when things go awry and you have to make decisions.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like the main issue with Tibbs, and I feel like it's been well documented at this point, is basically he kind of needs to be railroaded in the sense. Like you kind of need to give him these pieces in order to get the best out of Tibbs. And when the pieces aren't lined up in a way that they're supposed to be lined up or that's optimal for him, then he makes a lot of suboptimal decisions. And usually the Knicks are able to be talented enough to win in spite of those decisions, but you can't just sub-optimize your team and then expect them to just like talent their way out of it. Like the Knicks are an elite offense. They're not the best defense. You should not run a non-spacing lineup into an elite defense that struggles to score. You're playing right into their hands. Like the Rockets want to muck it up. The Rockets want to get offensive rebounds. They want to play physical in the half court because
they want to play slow. And they want to play slow.
Yeah, and they can't play in the half court and they can't shoot. So you're going to give them what they want. That doesn't make any sense. And luckily, you have the best player in the court, so it works out. But in situations where you don't have the best player in the court, because as talented as Jalen Brunson is, there are still players better than him, and there are still teams better than us. You have to give yourself a chance to win every night, and that lineup decision makes that chance so much harder. And if you are making, like, life is going to be hard enough without OG, depending on how long he's going to miss. They said it's a day-to-day injury.
I don't think we'll see him before the All-Star break.
Yeah,
and we shouldn't just shut him down. Let him get the fucking 17. I think there's 17 days between his injury and the next game after the All-Star break. Like, give him that time. If he needs more time after that because OG is OG, that's fine. But at the bare minimum, I'd be shocked if he plays a fucking second before the All-Star break.
Yeah, like they're clearly gonna have to do it without OG. But like, if you're gonna have to do it without OG, double down on the things that make you great, which is your ability to shoot the ball and your ability to put up points. Don't try to compensate for the loss of defense with OG by relying on Precious. And he figured it out last year. Like, this is my problem. He figured it out last year. He went, okay, Precious does not work in the starting lineup. Deuce does. And he decided to run 4 guards and Hartenstein, and it blitzed teams.
And at least it worked. We were like, it worked. All right, we're good. We're back again.
He ran it in the playoffs. He basically realized, like, in the Indiana series, he was like, okay, I lost 2 games playing Precious Achiuwa. I'm going to play Deuce McBride. They won game 5. So clearly he understands spacing and he understands the importance of offense. This is his Green Goblin. This is his Green Goblin match.
This is his, and I'm telling you this, right? I lived through this. You weren't even born then, Tyrese. You were still where you were. You were not.
Okay. All right. Jesus. Where are we going here? This is his Jinko jeans. This is his bell bottoms.
No, but this is like his late 90s. I came through the fucking like 90s fucking wars jeans kicking in of like, gotta own the glass, gotta have size, gotta fuck
more.
Yeah, but this I'm telling you, this is what kicks in for him. This is where you gotta understand where these coaches like get their roots from, right? Like where they came up and like
the Berlin Wall.
He's not that old. I mean, he's not that old. He's
yes,
old.
He is.
Yeah, but he didn't coach then, man. And who the fuck coached through the fucking? Shut up for 5 seconds. Stop being annoying. No, but he got his coaching roots through that late 90s Knicks run. Like that's where he first became an assistant coach. It's where he was sitting on the bench and all these things. Like this is where it manifests. Where like I guarantee you, if you ask him, because he thought net rating on, he knows what his best line. He knows what his best lineup is. He played his best lineup at the end of the game today. Why? Because he knows this is his best lineup. He knows it's his best lineup, but he can't quit the like. I gotta have like two bigs on the floor with enough size to rebound. Yeah, he starts scratching. Like he gets the fucking itch. Yeah, like it's but he has to get over it because this team and forgetting the size and the spacing element of it. Forget like which are valid points obviously of like Deuce provides spacing obviously that Precious doesn't. What it also allows you to do in certain matchups anyway. Matchup like tonight would have been one. Okay, you lost OG, right? OG's gone right now. He's gone for probably a month, let's say. How can you best replace OG? Is it by having Precious out there who gives you nothing close to what OG gives you offensively? Or is it by having Deuce in the starting lineup who can defend the point of attack and allow Mikal Bridges to approximate, or at least try to approximate, what OG can do as a help defender? Like these are the things that and the decisions that I think he has to really think through and hopefully comes to the right conclusion. I think he will come to the right conclusion in time, but I do think it will come in time because his default will always be wanting to have that size on the floor, feeling that you need to control the glass to win the games and all this type of shit. And I don't ever agree with that because I think you just win games by playing the best lineups you have and not necessarily playing to your matchups or trying to win a specific category. But like we at least have evidence that he will have a come to Jesus moment and be like, okay, fine, I was wrong. Like, okay, correct. I should just start Deuce and we'll move on with their lives. And that's honestly what gives me hope because I do think that like, he does know it. Like you saw it at the end of the game today, right? He knew it. He knows it. He knows it. He just, it's like in his bones.
It's the gaslighting thing where he's like, oh, it doesn't matter who starts the game, it's who finishes the game. It's just like, why do you want to go into bad starts? Why do you have to be 42 minutes into the game to realize, oh, hey, maybe I should play by 5 most synergistic players together and maybe give myself a chance to win a basketball game. So, you know what? I'm gonna like he plays prevent defense in the first quarter. Who does that?
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah. I don't know.
This is fucking Joe Judge, fucking quarterback sneaking 2nd and 8.
No, what was it? It was the 3rd and 6.
Where the fuck? Like, why are you? It's not gonna work. You know what's not gonna work. You're not fooling anybody here. You're not gonna catch anybody off guard. You're not gonna do anything different. Like nobody's gonna, oh shit, quarterback sneak. Oh shit, Precious Achiuwa's in the starting lineup. What do we do? What do we do? No, it's gonna be like it's Precious Achiuwa, and they're gonna laugh at you. As the Rockets did, they laughed at us. But somehow, some way, he's like, you know what? I need it. Precious size rebounds. Oh, I'm like, start the midget. Start Miles. God.
And you know that means something when Tyrese is telling you to start Miles. So there you go. All right. Neo Schmidt says, crazy that after each bad game, people still continue to doubt Jalen Brunson. Hey man, I'm with you. Every time people are like, is he really that good? I'm like, yeah, no, he is, bro. It'll be fine.
He's top 10.
Be fine.
He's top 10, but he's not 10.
He's closer. He's much closer to 5 than he is to 10. I'll put it that way.
He's closer to a lot of guys who are seen as kind of legacy players.
To me, there's only 4 guys in the world that are better than him for sure.
Wemby, Giannis, Jokic, and the newest Laker, Luka.
SGA. Wemby's not better than him yet. Come on, be real.
I'm kind of biased.
Yeah. Oh, right. I forgot you're a diehard Spurs fan now.
I really am. Great loss.
No, it's Wemby. It's Giannis. It's our great favorite newest Laker.
You can't spell Luka. That's so
That's
hard, too. I
yesterday.
hate it. I fucking hate it. Oh,
It's crazy how, I guess it's a good metaphor for America.
American exceptionalism is just the Lakers.
The rich keep getting richer. Let's
They
go.
keep falling upwards. It's the fucking dude on the bike who like stick the fucking stick and then he hits himself and he's like, why do the Lakers keep doing this?
This is Jordan Bub post. This is from James Edwards. You have to win games different ways. We knew it would be that type of game. Physicality, playing small. I love the way we responded. Yeah. I mean, I thought it's great that he said that, but it's funny he says it's like playing small. Yeah.
You take the fucking hole.
Yeah. You did the opposite actually to start the game.
This is like play. It's like going on like fucking hard mode, and they'd be like, "Why is this game so hard? What? Who did this to themselves?" And it's like, dude.
Well, this is to the point that Tyrese made earlier. This may start. It kind of feels weird to say this, but I think the biggest need is more 3-point shooting. Just seems like they could use more confident, quick shooters. I'll tell you this: you put Malik Beasley on this team instead of Landry Shamet. No, come on, man. Forget Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet's out here getting minutes, doing what? Running into screens hard.
He's giving you 5 solid minutes of effort.
They're not even that solid. They're not. Even
I'm well versed in 5 minutes of really good effort. So I know what Landry Shamet's doing. I salute it. But at the same time, it's like it like you can clearly see the Knicks need so much bench help, and the fact that they're still this good is a testament to how good the starting lineup is. But they really need more creation. They need willing 3-point shooting. They need size on the wing, and obviously this is going to take a couple cycles. You're not going to get it all in one transaction cycle. But like there are really clear needs. And
volume 3-point shooting is clearly. I mean, I think this was always the trade-off, right? When you made the Cat trade for obvious reasons, right? You needed a center. He opens up the floor for you in a way that you didn't have before. But the volume of 3-point shooting, and I'll hands up, I'll admit this, like I thought you could make that up because Cat would open up the floor in a way that other guys wouldn't, and nobody really can, other than like. I mean, how many centers open up the floor the way that he does, right? Like Porzingis, Wemby, that's probably about it. Like,
yeah,
I think, and even I don't think Wemby has the gravity Cat does behind the line. So like, I thought that would make up the volume difference because you could generate the volume in a different way. Hasn't been the case. So hands up, I was wrong. But they did to the point that Ace is making here and that you made earlier, Tyrese, like 100%. Like they need to find guys that are open even when they're not totally open, and they don't have that right now. That's just a fundamental reality of where they exist as a team, and this is part of the reason why I don't think they're like a true contender this year. They're very close. They're fucking really close.
Like they can make the Eastern Conference Finals, but I think you can still say like
yeah, like I just it's really hard for me to envision this team with the small gaps they have in various ways winning a championship. I think they're an off-season away. And I don't think that's a disaster. It's what it is.
Yes, like you made an off-season trade the day before training camp opened. Like it's the reality.
Yeah, and you sacrifice depth and whatever. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. This is Jordan Bubs posted this is a quote from Tibbs. I don't know who posted this. That's what it is. There's going to be physicality to the game. Sometimes things don't go your way. Then you got to make them go your way. So don't let that deter you from trying to win the game, move on to the next play. Thank you. Yes. This is like entire point and frustration at halftime where I was like, what are you trying to do here? Are you trying to win fucking side quests? Or are you trying to win the fucking game? Because if you're just trying to like win the battle against the refs, let me tell you something. You're not going to win the side quest there, buddy. Like you're just not. Like it's not going to happen. So you can try to waste your time doing that, or you can try to win the fucking game. And I thought, I don't know about Cat. Cat was on his own fucking planet in a lot of ways. I thought Brunson in the second half, obviously the performance itself, the output was tremendous. I just loved the way he approached the game. I thought even when he was bitching about calls, he bitched about it at the right times, right? He was like bitching about it in between plays, not during plays, during stoppages. That's what you got to do. Like, you're not going to win the battle. You're not going to win the battle in the middle of a play. They're not going to stop it for you to complain about the play. They're going to be like, you're more likely for them to let the play finish and then tee you up than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, the message is right, and clearly it's going to the people that it's very obvious who's going to. Josh and Kat have not been shy about their content about oh my god. I think that's how you know Kat is Dominican, because
He's so funny. He's so funny, man.
oh my god.
No!
Bow! Kat fits the dynamic of New York. I will say that much.
That's what makes it like much less annoying than Julius.
Exactly.
You're like, oh yeah, I get it.
Like, Kat doesn't try to be tough. Kat is just like very
how
right. Julius would be like really like no, Kat is like very emotional, and it fits. Like,
Julius would be like aggressively like trying to beat up quickly in between trying to yell at the refs.
Beat up quickly and trying to beat up assistants.
What's this iPad? Get this iPad out of my face, man.
I'm making you quickly. Don't take me to Bible study. I don't want to go.
Larry Israel. Jalen's highlights in this game is a cornucopia of uncalled fouls. Is ridiculous. The screens that were setting on McCall were egregious, and the calls on Cat were pretty ticketed. Look, I agree with all this. I don't disagree with any of this, actually. But my point is, to me, Jalen and McCall rose above that shit today, because at some point you just got to accept that you're not getting those calls, and you got to play through it, and you have to understand that you're going to have to play through it. Like Jalen has struggled this at times this year, where at times to me it feels like he's taking shots to draw the foul, not to make the shot. And because he's not trying to make the shot, he misses it, and then he doesn't get the call, and he's mad about that. And it's like, okay, like I get that frustration, but just try to make the shot, maybe just try to make the shot. And he did that tonight, and he got rewarded for it because he made shots. Because he's a great shot maker. He's a phenomenal shot maker. And if on top of that you get the foul call, bonus, great, fantastic. Let's move on. His focus has to be on that. He's not going to get the calls that he deserves or that he wants or whatever. It's the reality situation. We can sit here and bitch about it, but that's the reality. And look, the McCall stuff, there were 2 possessions in the fourth quarter where Jayshawn Tate set, literally, I counted them, 5 separate moving screens on 2 straight possessions and didn't get called. And it's like, I don't know I don't know what you're going to do about that. I guess the one thing you can do is like run into it and flop, but you're not guaranteed. I mean, was this a night where you think you were going to get that call? Tonight was a night where they were letting, and to be fair, I thought that they let the Knicks play too, to an extent. So you've got to understand the whistle. And again, to the Knicks' credit, I thought in the second half, they did understand the whistle better. Everybody other than Cat, really. I thought they understood the whistle better.
Okay.
I do, but I thought the last 2 Cat fouls were really soft, man. Like really, really soft. I was surprised that Tibbs didn't challenge either of them. I think it might have been a timeout thing where he was like, I'd rather have the timeout than maybe when Cat fouled out, he was like, this might be all right. Might be okay, actually. No, Cat, sorry. I can't, the guys, like the assistants were right there, like, challenge this. He was like, nah, don't worry, we're good. Keep your percentage up, buddy. Your percentage.
He's watching. Do you see what Jalen is doing? He's watching the game.
Yeah, no, we're good, bro. We don't need it. Nora says our team are some divas.
True.
Finger pin nails.
True. That's why we are very, very. And I mean this.
Cat's the only real diva, though. Let's be real. Come on, Josh isn't a diva. Jalen's not a diva. Jalen and Josh aren't divas.
OG put a silent protest for like a month because he wasn't getting.
I'm not getting touches, bro.
Like
not
OG had a silent protest. Mikhail is just like, look,
You're saying OG was on his Mahatma Gandhi hunger protest.
Mahatma Julius. OG Randall.
Kevin Pierre, Towns getting guarded by wings might be alleviated by going double bigs with MAGA Mitch.
It's gonna be hard to have MAGA Mitch.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I fully What do you think this means? Because I'm not sure I totally understand that.
I mean, in the world where Mitch is not a Laker by Thursday, because he will be a Laker by Thursday. I mean, like, I think it probably makes it harder. Like
that's what I'm curious about.
Because now you don't have the spacing, and Mitch is like in the paint, and I guess the gamble is, well, if you put like Mitch could still get the rebound just because like our front court will be bigger. Again, in the hypothetical that he's out on the fucking West Coast, but I mean, I don't think it makes it any easier. I still think you're going to guard Cat Wings. The idea is probably like Cat has to do more driving, and I don't know if I want Cat doing more driving with another center in the paint. It kind of feels like.
Well, I think it has to. I think Cat's gonna have to do more spacing if Mitch is on the floor.
Well, that's too. But,
yeah,
but it's also like it'll be very interesting to see how the offense is going to look if Mitch takes the floor for Cat, because you're hoping that offensive rebounds will juice it the way it has juiced the last couple of years, but it has the potential to look really funky, and I don't know if the defense is going to be good enough. So that's why.
I will say though, I think Mitch defensively. I mean, not. I think like I know, like we know this. If he's right, he 100% elevates the defense into a different level than we've had this year.
Yeah. And he takes all the precious minutes, so I'm happy. Thank you.
Why are you hating my guy, man? Why are you hating? What do you hate? You hate. I forgot you hate New York City residents now. No, because you're jealous.
I'm not jealous at all.
You're so mad.
It was
you miss Eric Adams, man. You miss him so much.
I would rather have. As a resident Texan now, it was 80 degrees today.
That's probably the grossest thing you've ever said in your life.
And it's February 3rd. I am having a blast. Yeah. I can go to Six Flags for fun.
Is ice outside your house right now?
No, it melted last week. So we had
not that ice, buddy.
Oh, okay. No.
Larry Israel says Jalen was a one-man wrecking ball. He destroyed them and will definitely keep Ime up all night. And I'm here for his pain.
We did it for Neil
Long. We did it for you, baby. We did it for you. No, I mean, I agree. I thought he was special tonight. He really was. This was. I think you could argue this was his best game of the season in so many ways because they needed it. Like they needed him to be special tonight. He's had special games before where I don't know if the Knicks necessarily lose the game without him being special. Tonight, they lose this game, no shadow of a doubt, without providing what he did. Like there's no world they win this game without him dropping whatever. What did he finish with? 41 and 10, I think. 42, 10 and 6. He was unbelievable tonight, man. This was his best game of the season. Again, I just thought it was everything you ever expect or want from a franchise player, from an MVP player.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that reaffirms the front office that, like, yeah, it was good to like make this guy be on this.
Jordan Bell posts this. Mikal Bridges on the Knicks going 4-1 against the Kings, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Lakers, and Rockets in the last 5 games. I think we're just learning more time together and also learn from other teams and picking up habits. I'm not sure what that last. I don't even know what that means. To be honest. The last part, I don't know.
I mean, the picking up habits is like good habits, but like the habits we picked up.
Jeffrey Glenn says, "Love the adjustment of closing with Deuce. Think it would have been a lot to ask of Deuce to play as long as Precious, given the size Houston has and how physical that game was."
You can't. I don't think you can operate in that in that vacuum. Like, you cannot go, okay, well, Houston has a lot of size and they're physical, so we have to match them. It's like, at some point, you have to play your game. And the Knicks game all season, and for the majority of Tibbs' tenure with Brunson, has been you are a really good offense, and he tries to, like, double dip where it's like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice my offense to bolster my defense, and it's like, why are you doing that? You don't have the defense. If you had the defensive capabilities to do that, you'd be a good defense. They're an okay defense. They're an elite offense, and they basically been able to make it work with everybody offensively except Precious. So why would you make your offense worse, not upgrade your defense enough, and put yourself in a situation to where you are putting yourself behind the 8 ball, and you basically have to get it out the mud for no reason? I would have played Deuce because ultimately speaking, like, just take, like, the team needs to take 3 somehow, and playing 3 guys who can't really get up threes right now, including Cat, who's hampered with the injury, like, that's just not it's not, and you have to be able to play your game.
I am not buying the whole Cat can't get up 3 because of injuries. Cat doesn't get up 3s because he just doesn't want to.
He wants to drive, and I'm like, dude, take the fucking 3. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what they put in his brain. Like, Minnesota Cat post Tibbs legitimately was taking like 9 threes per 100 possessions.
I just don't think I don't, you know what it is? I wonder if there's some weird thing of like, and this isn't even necessarily that weird. It's just what it is. Like, he got called soft and weak and all these things. And I feel like he feels like he needs to prove to this constantly that he's not soft. He's not weak. He's not this. I'm not a perimeter player. I'm a big man. I'm a center. Like, I really think that's a big part of what this is. Like, I just think that he doesn't.
I don't think it's Tibbs enabling it because Tibbs is weird.
Yeah, no, I think Tibbs is giving him the freedom to take shots, right? Like, I don't think Tibbs cares I think Tibbs wants him to take threes. I don't think he gives a fuck when he takes threes at all because he knows that Cat is a great 3-point shooter. Like, the one thing that you can 100% say about Tibbs, he might not like the threes you take, but if you are a quality 3-point shooter, he's really never going to be like, you can't take those threes. Like, this motherfucker was letting rookie Emmanuel Quickley take logo threes, bro. And he straight up said he makes 4-point threes in our practice facility, so that's a good shot for him. That was a real fucking quote he gave. So, like, I have a very hard time believing Tibbs is any part of the reason why Cat. I think he gives these guys freedom. I think he's never trusted. I think he trusts that starting lineup more than he's ever trusted starting lineup. I think he lets them do kind of like what they do and gives them general principles, tenets, whatever to follow. But he trusts them to make decisions. And I think Cat, his decision making, he wants to get inside. He wants to drive. He wants to get to the rim. But there are times where I'm like, motherfucker. Like, there was that possession today, late in the fourth quarter, where him and Brunson and Cat ran a pick and roll, and Brunson was like kind of ISOing on the wing, and Cat started ducking down towards his elbow, and Brunson was like, get the fuck out there. Like, stay up top. Like, you saw that, right? Brunson was like, stay up there. Stay up there. And it's like, that's the shit that I'm like, you just have to understand, why are you even coming down there? You see Brunson has the ball. He's trying to cook. In what world do you think that you, like condensing the space makes any sense?
It's like that stupid cut that we used to run for like 3 years where, like, somebody would, like, get started in the mid-range.
The Alfred cut.
The fucking Alfred cut. Like, what are we doing, dude? Stop fucking up spacing. The only person who can fuck up spacing is Josh Hart.
Sorry, I wanted to get back to this one. I thought this was a good one. Love the adjustment of closing with Deuce. Think it would have been a lot. Sorry, we just did this one. This is the one I want to get to. It's from one of my favorite. Clyde bit tonight was telling us that Steve Adams grew up on a farm and grew his own food. Clyde was on some shit tonight, man. I got the funniest Clyde thing that happened tonight. By far. Not even close. The funniest Clyde thing that happened tonight. Mikal took a 3 in the second half. And it's a pull-up 3 in transition. It hit off the back rim. Hits off the back rim. The Rockets get through and they're coming the other way. And he goes, "Oh, tired legs." That's when the shots come up short, Mike. I was like, what? It's like, that shot was long, Clyde. Look at this. Constantine Metricos tells us, hello, handsome fellas. Hello to you, pal. Hello to you. Judah Bencher, the NBA should investigate the origin of Mikal Bridges because he doesn't appear to be made of flesh and blood.
I thought he was
crazy.
done. I thought he was done. Like the fact that he got up and like he was able to go through screens again. Like
dude, he moved. He was fine. Like he literally looked fine.
He was like he found his screen nav. He found his he tweaked his ankle and he found his screen nav. And if that's what it took to get him to finally fight through screens, I thank God for the ankle sprain. I hope it doesn't keep him out. But holy shit. The way that he was able to get through screens, that's the best screen nav he's had all season. I cried.
You didn't cry, but I know you felt like crying.
I was moved to tears.
But you didn't cry though.
It was the most emotional I felt since the inauguration. Like I want to preface I'm not. I am not. Okay.
No, but like, I know his intensity to close that game. Like you could see it. Like he was so into it on every fucking possession, battling over screens. Like he had Jalen Green. Every time Jalen Green tried to do anything on him, he knew this. He knew the scouting report on Jalen Green. He was like, "You can do whatever the fuck you want on me, buddy, but you're only gonna go left. You're only gonna go left. You're never going right because you can't dribble left at all. At all. You cannot dribble left at all." And Jalen Green did nothing on him. Did absolutely nothing on him. He had Jalen Green out, which is maybe not the highest bar to clear because Jalen Green sucks ass. I liked it when Clyde Fraser says, I liked it when Clyde said Brunson got decapitated.
Clyde was the right amount of dramatic this game. I will say that much. It was a good dramatic.
Jason Arral, absolutely his worst stretch. We could see the boneheaded plays he was made fun of for now. He had those plays down to a minimum when he was playing well. This is definitely about Cat, obviously.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to this. John Larry, what are Tyrese's thoughts on Luka trade? I think you all will be very surprised about Tyrese's thoughts with the Luka trade.
It was legit. They got a fucking all-NBA player. Like, they got a fringe top 10 NBA player. Jesus Christ, whenever we are streaming to children. Also, like, they got a top 12 NBA player. Like, I get it, he's older, but also, like, I don't want to hear shit about, oh, you could have gotten so many picks. And it's like, who the fuck are you going to get? Who the fuck were they going to get that was somehow going to be better than 80? I don't want to hear about, oh, you could have gotten Alperen Sengun. Fuck him. Oh, you could have gotten Jared Jackson Jr. Well, no, you couldn't have, because there's no way they would have ran Luka and Ja. Like,
I'll throw this at you. What if they could have gotten something like the Terror Twins from Houston, plus the Suns picks, plus Dylan Brooks. Well, the Terror Twins are Amen and Tari.
I still want to do that shit. I'm sorry.
And you get the Suns picks, and you get Dylan Brooks, and you get whatever the fuck else. I don't know. I'm not.
Like, you have to
but here's the thing. Like I understand your point of like they got AD, and so like you got an All NBA player for him. But wouldn't you also agree? Like, why are you trading him?
Like again, like obviously, like you shouldn't have fucking traded Luka. That's really stupid, especially not to the Lakers. Like, use your brain. I don't care how fat he is. If you give me 30-point triple doubles, you can be 300 pounds. As long as you suit up to play DT at the end of the fucking game.
You can be Vader if you get 30 points.
You could be fucking Becerra. You could be Mark Henry.
Rikishi.
You could be Rikishi. You could be Yokozuna.
Do you think Luka's finisher is Rikishi's?
Absolutely. No, his finisher is probably Yokozuna. Luka will be at fucking WrestleMania, one way or another. God damn it. But like my thing is, I'm sorry. Unless I don't know of a team like the only one I could probably see is like the Rockets offer, but like I don't think the Rockets would do that. I don't know if the Rockets would do that, and even still, it's like I like Amen Thompson. Do you see like perennial All NBA talent? I don't see that. I think he's a very good player. I question the 6'8" guy with no shot.
I mean, if you're saying talent, yeah, I see perennial NBA talent with him, 100%.
Okay, do you see like? Is he ever going to be like? I don't think he's ever going to be a top 15 player. I think he's a very, very good player.
Ooh, man,
I think he's a very, very good player.
I think it's his second year. What he is showing you already within the second year, like
if he learns how to shoot,
okay, so just on like everything to become one of these like top 15 guys, right? Aside from guys that are drafted like top 3 or 5 or something, it requires some level of outlier development. That's fair to say.
Yes.
And even Amen, he was drafted 4th. It would require some outlier development. But if you get that outlier development with him, then I mean, what are we talking about then?
Yeah, then like if you get outlier development with Amen Thompson, he's an MVP.
I mean, he might just end up being the best player in the league at that point. Like he's that talented. Like he is that skilled and that good at everything else. And everything else at basketball other than shooting from the perimeter, he is amazing. Like he is I mean, we saw it tonight. Like they had no spacing and he still was able to just what do you get? Like 20 whatever the fuck he finished with.
25.
He finished with 25, 11 and 11. Like he is that level of a talent where I don't know. Like it's just weird. Like first of all, you don't trade Luka. If you're going to trade Luka, then you need to get some blue chip talent, 100%. To me, the sin isn't. I mean, there's 2 sins. One, you didn't just get everything from the Lakers you could have gotten. The second sin is, but the original sin is like, why are you trading Luka? Yeah, why are you trading?
You should have gotten 2 picks. You should have gotten 2 picks. You should have gotten
Austin Reeves. Should have gotten the swap.
You legitimately should have got like raided the fucking Lakers cupboards, and instead you somehow left them with assets to make another move.
But hopefully that benefits us, right?
Yeah, to look at Austin Reeves. But like, for me, I just like if I'm trading Luka, like I'm not gonna rely on outlier.
I'm running your pockets, pal.
Like. Also, like, I'm not going to rely on outlier development for whatever I get back. Like, I kind of need established All NBA level talent. Like, not All Star talent. There's a difference between All Star and All NBA. Like,
yeah, 100%.
There's a gap.
No, like AD is a different level. AD is a different level.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So like, guys. And plus, like, they still have Kyrie. I figured they're gonna make another move. I mean, we've talked about it. I think we both think
Jimmy Butler, come on down, pal. You but, are like, down Maverick.
But even still, like
you shouldn't have done the trade. That's it.
You should have done the trade, but like that's
if you're gonna do the trade, at least you got AD. At least you got AD.
Like, that's it's fine. Like
it's not.
And
fine,
I still think okay, fine. Yeah. It's manageable, and honestly, like they could probably still end up winning the West.
They might like they. The thing is, Nico Harrison might be a moron, so that's a problem. But like, there's a world where a GM could take what they have right now and still construct a title contender. I just don't know that Nico Harris is the one to do it. Jordan Bubb posted this. This is like such a great teammate Josh Hart quote. Josh Hart on all 40 minutes tonight versus Houston. He gave us great energy, good minutes. He used his fouls. He got 6 of them. He was making sure he was going to use them. And then we get a Pete Cat quote here. Also from Jordan Bubb. I don't know who posted this. Who I don't know from Twitter. I'm assuming. We've been told that we haven't got any statement wins, so we found a way in front of our fans to get some. All right, but Chris Bernhard says Tibbs is bubbles from the wire whenever he's trying to get clean.
That's good. That was a good one.
Imagine Tibbs just selling shit out of his fucking car. Chris Bernard, Tip Street's lineups like he's playing OG Resident Evil with invisible enemies.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to finish up these comments as much as I can. Mikal Bridges' last 5 games. This is from Jordan Bubb. 21.2 points per game, 3.6 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 52, 45, 62 true shooting.
It's only 62 true shooting shows you he's fucking garbage getting to the line, dude. Like, holy shit. Like,
He's also just... I will say, dude, that mini he made that like bounced in and out and in back in the fourth quarter.
Yes, contact.
That was once I was there. You can just tell, like with his middies, when it hits a certain part of the rim, you're like, yeah, that shit's good.
Trader press daylight unrequired Denver's 20-30 from Charlotte. Is that real?
Is this real? Somebody tells us it's real. Hold up. Gotta go down here. I think it's real.
That's fucking Presty, man. Why?
Yo, Tyrese, our boy Omar Yusuf, win of the year. Had us in the first half, not gonna lie.
Somebody else made a bubble for the Wire reference. Sam Presti got a fucking. Wait, the Thunder required Denver's 20-32 round pick from Charlotte in exchange for Phoenix's 2029 second round.
That's like the most bored trade of all time.
That's so bored, but Charlotte did a good trade.
Yeah. Aaron Bender. Finally, they let Brunson switch and play defense, and it was not perfect, but it was fine. He even yelled at Deuce late in the fourth to stay on his own man. I agree. Look, me and Tyrese, we've been saying this entire year. Like, Brunson is, look, he's obviously got deficiencies as a ISO defender. I don't think he is like this garbage switch defender that you have to hide forever.
He's thick enough. Like, you can make it work.
No, this is the Steph thing, right? Where people are like, oh, well, James Harden can cook Steph in an ISO. I'm like, okay. Like, yeah, you're right. A superstar can cook Brunson in ISO. You got me. Yep. Oh, shit. Like, what if he's... Yeah, like, great players can cook anybody in an ISO. It's the reality of the situation. But I'd rather have that than just telegraphing help defenses and giving up kickouts for threes. We saw that against the Lakers. Where you're just so terrified, mortified of like giving up switches where you're just giving up open threes and easy fucking, cuts to the bucket and all that shit. Like, restrict what you can, but also like trust your guys, man. Jalen Brunson, to me, has earned the benefit of the doubt. Like, this guy is not, he competes defensively. He's not great. He's not perfect. He's always going to have flaws, but he's a guy that competes defensively. And that's, if you have that, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine, especially when you've got other good defenders on the floor.
Yeah. I
don't know what you said. Broke up. But yeah.
Brendan Tierney says he wants W fan fucking commentary.
I gotta read this comment. This is really good. On WFA, Brandon Tierney said he wants the Knicks to trip for Jimmy Butler because this team needs alpha male. Said he would back the grit and toughness they've lacked in that show. Let me tell you what the Knicks should not do: is trade.
No, we are too zesty for alpha males. Okay.
Yeah, trade anything for Jimmy Butler on his $52 million a year contract. Fuck that.
Why?
Xander Rosen says Schwinn flashes. No, I'm gonna keep flashing you and to get real with it.
Please don't.
Larry Israel, getting 80 cents of dollars is best in as few coins as possible. That's about the Luka trade. I agree, but it's like just don't get the 80 cents on the dollar. Just stick with the dollar.
Sometimes you just really want a honey bun and don't want to give them extra change. And sometimes you want to donate to charity. Like, it happens, dude. I've been there.
We can close with this one. Trade everything for Cam Whitmore for basketball on my life.
Give them Miles.
I mean, they're not going to trade him for Miles. We don't have what they need.
Oh, wow. It's almost like because he stinks. Anyway.
He doesn't stink. This is the problem that you're just too dumb to ever understand. You're too reactionary. As soon as the trade deadline is over, you'll all of a sudden start seeing the virtue of these players that you want to trade. You'll be like, actually, this guy is good. I like him, man.
Yeah, right. I will never yield until he learns how to dribble in traffic and create at a decent level.
Never happening, pal. Never happening.
Okay, then he's a 6'1", 3-and-D guard. Get the fuck out of my face.
No, but look, if they can get Cam Wilmore, get Cam Wilmore. I'm fine with that. But
yeah,
like
Austin Reeves,
you don't have anything.
Wilmore.
You don't have anything to get Cam. There's nothing we have. I guess you know what? I'm not going to say this anymore because Luka Doncic got traded. So
Anything's possible.
Yeah, anything is possible. What was the Jason Tatum version?
We did
it.
That would be us on trade deadline day.
We did
it. Mitchell Robinson is traded to the West Coast, and if you see me somehow have an Austin Reeves jersey already pre-made because I had a premonition, and you're just gonna see me like walking around and going like this to the camera like I'm fucking cat in fucking Toronto. It will be a special day.
We did it.
We did it.
Say 2-2. Danny Ainge can go to hell. He set the Lakers up for 10 years success. Fuck Danny Ainge.
Fuck Danny Ainge.
Apparently
he didn't even know he was in the Luka trade.
Hey, look, I gotta say thank you to Danny Ainge. I got my most viral tweet ever. Thanks to Danny Ainge. So we're good. We're good out here. Thank you, Danny Ainge. Hawkeye 420. This is the last one we're gonna do. What more should have been a Nick? Mavs tank got rewarded by silver. Would not be the only time he rewards your incompetence, it seems. Look, who knows? I never know about this stuff, but like the Mavs should have tanked when they tanked. They obviously got their guy Lively. He's been great, but I mean, this is how things like you can nail a bunch of great decisions, but if you're all of a sudden like we're going to trade Luka, it might end up bad. So we'll see what happens.
Could not have happened to a better franchise. I'll tell you that much. The franchise and their owners deserve the fans though. The franchise and the owners deserve that.
There we go. All right. All right. Well, thank you to everyone that joined us in the post game. Thank you for the comments. We appreciate all of them, even if we did not get to all of them. Tyrese, anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
I want to plug that. Did we confirm that we're doing the trade? I guess they did.
All right. I'm not gonna plug anything. I'm just gonna plug all the work to Strickland. Check that out. Everything is good. Post games, recaps, everything. Check it out. The Knicks play tomorrow night against the Hawks, right? Toronto. Basically the same thing. Some animal. Basically an animal of some kind. Hopefully the Knicks should win. Second out of back-to-back, they should still win. We'll see what happens. I will not be on the post game for that, for sure, because I have to play a very, very important soccer game. So I'll not be here. Enjoy whoever is on for that. Thank you to our sponsor, Bet Online. Thank you again to everybody in the comments. Thank you for all the replies. Thank you for the super chats. And I hope everybody has a great night. I hope everybody has a great day tomorrow. And I hope the Knicks have a great day tomorrow. Peace.